Imagine waking up with that hum in your veins. You know the hum. It's not just energy, it's that edge, that hunger to own the day before your feet touch the floor. Your mind is a laser. Your body feels like it could punch holes in walls. That's not a fantasy. That's testosterone working right. But most men today don't even remember that feeling. Instead, you drag yourself out of bed like you're underwater. There's fog between your ears that won't lift. By 2 p.m., you're hunting for caffeine just to stay awake. You look in the mirror and wonder, where did that guy go? So you do what you were told. Eat breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. Every fitness guru with a protein shaker says the same thing. Eat every 3 hours to keep your metabolism roaring. But what if that's a lie? What if that constant stream of fuel is actually drowning the engine? Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you will flip everything you know. The villain in your blood. Let me introduce you to a villain you didn't know existed. Chronic insulin. When you eat all day long, your insulin never drops. It stays high, hovering like a wet blanket over your entire hormonal dashboard. And here's where it gets nasty. Insulin doesn't just store fat, it actively blocks the signal from your brain to your testicles. Your hypothalamus screams, make more testosterone, but insulin stands in the middle like a bouncer at a club. The message never gets through, so your testicles just sit there, waiting for orders that never arrive. You can lift all the weights you want. You can take zinc, ashwagandha, tonka ali, but if the signal line is cut, you're just rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic. So what's the fix? You've probably heard of intermittent fasting. Maybe you even tried it, and you felt like garbage. Energy tanked, libido disappeared, so you quit. You thought, see, fasting crashes my hormones. But here's the twist you didn't see coming. What happens after day 30 is completely different from day 3. Most men quit right before the reboot, so let me walk you through the fire. The week that feels like defeat. You're on day 5 of fasting. You feel flatter than a crashed stock portfolio. Muscles look smaller. Mood is in the gutter. Libido? It packed its bags and left town. You think, I'm starving myself. Of course my testosterone is dropping. Here's the most important thing I can tell you right now. You are not broken. This is the process. Almost everyone who quits does it right here. When you suddenly cut your eating window, your body doesn't know this is intentional. It thinks food has become scarce. And in your ancient nervous system, scarcity means danger. So your adrenal glands start pumping cortisol like a fire hose. Now watch this. Testosterone and cortisol are locked on opposite ends of a seesaw. One goes up, the other comes down. Your body makes a choice. Do I invest in reproduction and muscle, or do I invest in survival? Survival wins every single time. This is temporary, but it's real. It's not a malfunction, it's a feature. Think of it like renovating your kitchen. Before you install the beautiful new cabinets, you gotta smash the old ones. Sledgehammers, dust, chaos. Your kitchen looks worse than before. That's not destruction, that's preparation. Your cortisol spike, that's a demolition phase. But what happens when the dust settles? The flip. This is where it gets good. Somewhere between week 2 and week 4, something shifts. That fog on your chest, gone. You wake up and your mind is sharp, almost uncomfortably alert. Your energy isn't just back, it's different. No jittery spikes, no crashes, just steady, relentless. And here's the part that confuses most guys. Your testosterone on a blood test might not look that different. Maybe up a little, maybe flat, but you feel like a different man. So what's going on? This is the real magic. It's not about how much testosterone is in your blood. It's about how sensitive your cells are to that testosterone. Your cells have tiny docking stations called androgen receptors. Testosterone plugs into them. That's when you get the strength, the drive, the aggression. But when insulin is chronically high from constant eating, those receptors wear noise-canceling headphones. They stop listening. Fasting rips those headphones off. Suddenly, your androgen receptors wake up. They become hyper-responsive. Even average testosterone hits you like a freight train. You're getting more bang for every buck. And that's not even the full story. The 2000% explosion. While your testosterone sensitivity is skyrocketing, something else happens. Your growth hormone explodes. I'm talking increases of up to 2000% in some studies. Yes, you heard that right. 2000%. When you fast for even 16 hours, your pituitary gland dumps growth hormone into your system. Growth hormone is the unsung hero of male physiology. It preserves muscle, it burns fat, and it works with testosterone, amplifying everything. Think of them as business partners. Testosterone is the architect designing the muscle. Growth hormone is the construction crew building it. But wait, what about your brain? Hunter mode. When you fast, your brain releases norepinephrine and dopamine. Together, they create what I call hunter mode. You're not manic, you're not anxious, you're dialed in, you feel like a predator. Evolutionarily, this makes perfect sense. When food was scarce, your ancestors couldn't afford to be sluggish. They needed peak focus to hunt, to track, to survive. And here's one more piece of the puzzle. Body fat, especially belly fat, contains an enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase is a testosterone thief. It converts your testosterone into estrogen. The more fat you carry, the more testosterone gets stolen. Fasting strips away that visceral fat. You reduce aromatase activity. Your testosterone stays as testosterone. You plug the leak in the dam. But what about muscle loss? Won't you shrivel away? The biggest fear and why it's wrong. You've been told your whole lifting life. Protein every 3 hours or your body eats muscle. It's gospel, it's doctrine, and it's wrong. Let me explain what actually happens when you fast. Your body enters a state called autophagy. That word means self-eating. Sounds terrifying, right? But here's what they don't tell you. Your body isn't stupid. It doesn't burn the furniture to heat the house when there's plenty of trash lying around. Muscle is way too valuable to destroy first. Think of autophagy as a microscopic cleaning crew. They show up when you finally give your system a break from digestion. They go through every room looking for garbage, damaged proteins, senescent cells, junk mitochondria. They recycle the trash to build new, functional structures. You're not losing muscle. You're refining it. This process won the Nobel Prize in 2016, by the way. You might look slightly smaller in the mirror for a week or two. That's not muscle loss. That's water weight and inflammation leaving. What's underneath? Denser, harder, more defined muscle, the kind that looks carved, not puffy. But let's go below the belt for a second. Better blood flow, better everything. Erectile quality isn't just about testosterone levels. It's about whether your vascular system can actually deliver the blood. Fasting dramatically improves endothelial function. Your body increases nitric oxide production. Nitric oxide dilates your blood vessels, increases circulation. Better blood flow doesn't just mean better pumps in the gym. It means better performance everywhere, and here's something nobody mentions. Fasting resets your dopamine receptors. We live in a world of constant stimulation. Food, screens, notifications, sugar, porn. Your dopamine system is fried. Nothing excites you anymore. Fasting forces a detox. When you stop flooding your system with easy hits of pleasure, your receptors become sensitive again. Suddenly, food tastes incredible. Sex feels electric. You start caring about things again. You want to chase goals, take risks, feel alive. That's not motivational fluff. That's neurochemistry restored to factory settings. How to make this last? So we've cleared the fog, protected the muscle, sharpened the mind, upgraded the plumbing. How do you turn this into a lifelong strategy? This isn't a diet. Diets have expiration dates. This is metabolic flexibility. It means your body can switch between fuel sources. Burn glucose when it's there. Burn fat when it's not. No panic. No crash. You become fuel agnostic. And that freedom changes everything. You're not controlled by your stomach. Not a slave to the clock, the snack drawer, the vending machine. You decide when you eat, not your cravings. Now imagine yourself 10 years from now. 20, 30. Most men are on a slow decline. Belly expands, energy evaporates, testosterone plummets. They need pills for blood pressure, pills for cholesterol, pills to get it up. But you have low visceral fat because you mastered the insulin game. Your hormonal profile looks like a man half your age. You're not dependent on a snack pack to function. You're resilient, anti-fragile. You're the guy at 50 who still looks dangerous. One last thing about hunger. Hunger is not an emergency. It's a signal, information. But we've been conditioned to treat it like a 5-alarm fire. Eat now. Hunger comes in waves. It peaks, and then it passes. If you can sit with it for 20 minutes, it fades. Every time you practice that, acknowledge the signal without reacting, you build mastery. And mastery is the ultimate definition of masculinity. When you stop being a slave to the fridge, you stop being a slave to your impulses. You become sovereign. Remember this one line. Feasting is the celebration of life, but fasting is the cleansing of it. You need both to be whole. So here's what I need you to do. If this information hit you, if you feel like you just unlocked a missing puzzle piece, hit subscribe. Share this with a guy who's stuck in the old paradigm, the one who's frustrated, losing the battle, and doesn't know why. This could change his life. You didn't come here to be entertained. You came here to evolve.